Friends, I welcome all of you to this session. This is our session number 7 for CS Professional Tax Revision Batch of December 22 exams. Are you all set to do today's topic? Please let me know in the chat window quickly. Today's topic is refunds under GST. We have to look at this topic very logically. It's a nice topic. There could be some computation based things in this topic, so better sit with your calculator. Okay, let's start, friends. So first of all, when will situation of refund come into picture? Okay, so when you know that whenever there's an export or whenever there's a supply to a unit in special economic zone, yes, then what happens? You know that is a zero rated supply. Do you know that it's a zero rated supply? Yes, no? Obviously you know it's a zero rated supply, but of course it's an interstate supply, and now if you are paying IGST on this, then you are getting a refund of that IGST. Did you get the point? So basically it's a zero rated supply. There are two options available, friends, here. Option number 1 is you don't pay any GST and you claim a refund of entire. Friends, I think I'm audible. Yes, just 1 minute. I'll be visible also, and we will take our discussion ahead. Yes, so as I'm telling you that what you can do is you can do exports. There are two possibilities in exports. One is you don't pay any output tax at all. If you're not paying any output tax at all, then your ITC is remaining unutilized. Yes or no? Of that ITC, you can claim refund. Did you get this point? And second point is that if you are paying IGST, okay, then you are getting entire refund of that IGST. Okay, so these are the two cases where you are entitled for refund, because exports are always, as going to be beneficial for the assessee, because exports will be promoted, encouraged, isn't it? Yes, that is one situation. Situation 2, when you get refund of GST, you get refund of unutilized input tax credit. Okay, see in which cases. So first is the case which I discussed with you. In case of export or supply to SEZ developer, SEZ unit without payment of IGST. So what happened? Ketki is exporter. She purchased raw material worth 1 lakh plus GST of 18,000. And now when she is exporting the goods, she is not charging any output tax because it's a zero rated supply. Output tax is 0, but ITC which is available is 18,000 rupees on her purchase. Of that 18,000, she can claim refund. Agreed? Output tax 0 minus ITC 18,000, net GST payable slash in bracket refund. That refund is rupees 18,000. Understood, all of you? Yes. And of course, we are going to do a numerical also on this, so it will get much more clear to you. One more thing I want to tell you. Listen to me carefully. Inverted duty structure. Inverted duty structure means output tax on my material, on my goods, is say 6% or 5%. Okay, but input tax on the raw material which I purchase is 18% or 28%. Means what happens? This percentage of GST on your inward supply is greater than percentage of GST on your outward supply. This is called as inverted duty structure. Agreed? Now what will happen in inverted duty structure is you will have greater amount of ITC. ITC will start being remaining unutilized. Now what to do with this unutilized ITC? Unutilized ITC you can claim as refund. Is it clear to all of you? Please let me know in the chat window. We are going to do questions on inverted duty structure also. Inverted means you can say a twisted. Okay, higher percentage on inputs and comparatively lower percentage on your outward supply. Okay, is inverted duty structure. Then refund of tax paid on supply of goods regarded as deemed exports. Then refund of any balance in e-cash ledger. It can happen that Pratiksha has deposited excessive amount of GST in the e-cash ledger. Okay, after specific time, can she claim refund of that? Yes. So these are the points where refund can be given. Refund on account of tax paid on supply which is not provided. So I told you that I am going to give a service in future to some entity. For giving that outward supply, correct, I took advance. Okay, so time of supply for that advance is today itself. But later on, I did not give service. And because somehow that particular transaction got cancelled. So what will happen, friends? The tax which I have paid to government, that tax should be refunded to me. Agreed? So this is one more situation which will attract refund. So refund on account of tax paid on a supply which is not provided, either wholly or partially, and for which invoice has not been issued. So we have seen in documents that what I did is I just issued a receipt voucher because I got an advance, and based on that I paid GST to government. Okay, but now in future I am not giving the service, so I will issue a refund voucher to them, and from government I will take refund of GST which I have already paid. Agreed? Yes. Then comes a point. Suppose I regarded particular supply as intrastate supply, but that supply is an interstate supply. Then don't you think I have unnecessarily paid CGST and SGST? So of that CGST and SGST, I will take refund. Agreed? Please let me know whether all of you are agreeing with these points. Yes, wonderful. Then we have also discussed this point. So you know, it's just the, what you can say, synopsis of many topics. We have discussed this point that there is a foreign tourist in India. There is a foreign tourist in India. He purchases some goods. Okay, now obviously Indian shopkeeper, when sells him the goods, will charge him IGST. Okay, tell me one thing, where is this foreigner going to consume these goods? In India or outside India? So since its place is outside India, yes, very good. Since its place is outside India, he will be given a refund by government while returning to his country. Okay, that refund, that is also a case where refund could be given. So that's what we are saying. Refund of IGST paid by tourist leaving India on any supply of goods taken out of India by him. Okay, and then tax might become refundable as a consequence of judgment, decree, order, or direction of an appellate authority. Then, of course, we have done few days back on finalization of provisional assessment. Can it happen that on provisional assessment the registered person had paid tax of 1 lakh, but finally according to the final assessment tax payable was only 40,000? So what will happen? The difference of 60,000 will be refunded. That's one more case where refund will be granted. Then, do you remember people having UIN, unique identification number? Some bodies of United Nations, foreign embassies. Yes. So what they do is they are doing business in India. Okay, actually not doing business in India for profit, but they are just transacting in India for some social purpose, for some larger purpose. Yes, very good. So whatever purchases they are doing in India, of course they are keeping on paying GST on that. Of that they are entitled to claim refund. Okay, so that's what we are talking about here. Okay, then this is a very unique case. You must have seen this. Refund of taxes to retail outlets established in departure area of international airport beyond immigration counters. You must have seen duty free shops. Okay, we are talking about that, not so critical here. Then refund of advance tax deposited by CTP NRTP. Do you remember this? CTP NRTP, the provisions in section 27, special provisions for CTP NRTP. They have to pay taxes in advance and their registration lasts for maximum of 90 days. Yes, they have to pay on estimate basis. So in case they have paid excess, then of that excess they can claim refund. And finally, in general, refund of excess payment of tax. Okay, so this completes, or this gives you idea of cases where refund can be granted. So quickly tell me critical cases. Okay, one critical case is zero rated supply. In zero rated supply, whatever ITC I will have, that ITC can be given as refund. Second, very important, is inverted duty structure. Very good, Sushma. Third important is when on exports I am paying IGST, then that whole IGST will be refunded. Fourth is tourist leaving India. Yes, tourists which are leaving India and in India they have done some purchases by paying IGST. Fifth, CTP NRTP of the excess amount which they have paid. Yes, provisional assessment. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, so these are very important cases where refund can be granted. Okay, then I would like to tell you few things. Okay, understand very carefully. This point very carefully you understand. There is a unjust enrichment. Do you understand? If refund will be given to the applicant, there will be unjust enrichment. Do you know what is the meaning of unjust enrichment? When I am a supplier, it is assumed that tax I have collected from recipient of supply, because we are talking about indirect taxes. So in indirect taxes, there is a concept of unjust enrichment. So if refund is granted to me, there is all probability that I will be unjustly enriched. Unjustly enriched means what? I collected from my customer 100 rupees of value plus 18 rupees of GST. So don't you think from my customer I have collected GST of 18, and that 18 only I have paid to government. Now if for some reason I apply for refund of that 18 rupees and I am given that 18 rupees back, what is the possibility that I am going to find the end consumer and give him back 18 rupees? So actually I will get rich, means I will get unduly enriched. On whose head? Because of whom? Or rather, because of my end customers. So who are the actual entitled or beneficiaries, who are actually entitled or who are beneficiaries of that refund? Actual beneficiaries of the refund are end consumers. No, not recipient of supply. Anisha and Ulka. Actual beneficiaries means I understood that you did not get the question in the right way. My question is, who should have been actually beneficiaries? Who should have actually got the refund? The customers. But if the refund is given to recipient of supply, then they will be unduly enriched. That's why, friends, it's very important in GST while giving refund to ensure that the recipient of supply is not getting unjustly enriched. Agreed? Yes, no? Quickly let me know in the chat window. Yes, it's very important to see to it that, ROS is not getting unduly enriched. Now, onus of proof lies on the registered person, that is recipient of supply himself. He has to give self-declaration that he is not getting unduly enriched. Agreed? However, if, see here what I am saying, if the refund amount is exceeding rupees 2 lakhs, then a certificate of declaration will have to be given by chartered accountant or cost accountant. Agreed? So along with the application, you will have to give such certificate. Is it clear? Quickly let me know. So form numbers you can check, but this important point I am telling you, that when to file declaration of unjust enrichment not happening and when to file certificate. So when to file declaration and when to file certificate. Declaration when the refund amount is less than rupees 2 lakhs, check. And when to file certificate from a chartered accountant or cost accountant, when the refund amount, yes, exceeds rupees 2 lakhs. Can you see this? Is it clear? Please remember these points. Okay, so what else I want to tell you in this? Do you know rate of interest for delay in refund from government? What is the rate of interest? We have learnt it. It is 6% per annum. Very good. Do you know it starts from which day? It starts from 61st day from the date of application. Agreed? Okay. One more thing. If it is proved that there will be unjust enrichment. If refund is given to recipient of supply, there will be unjust enrichment. Then what will be done? Then the refund amount will be transferred to account called as consumer welfare fund. Is it clear? It's not correct for government to keep the money with them, which needs to be refunded. So what they will do it, they will transfer it to account called as consumer welfare fund. Okay, you can go through this theory of or principle of unjust enrichment. Okay, now see how to exactly calculate refund amount in case of one, exports, second, inverted duty structure. Yes, procedural part you can go through. Check this. Amount to be claimed as refund. See this. Refund amount. How much is the refund amount in case of zero rated supply of goods or services or both? Okay. This could be probable question in the exam. Now this all works on unitary method. As simple as that. This all works on what? Unitary method. Are you there with me, all of you? Yes, yes, yes. I am going to tell you what I mean by unitary method. It's very simple. Pay attention. First, ensure you all are with me. Yes. I want to give you a very simple illustration. Okay. There is a particular person. His, say, exports. His say exports are 100 lakhs. Okay. His exports are 100 lakh. His domestic supplies are 150 lakhs, or say for simplicity let's take it 200 lakhs. So calculation will be easy. So do you agree his aggregate turnover is 300 lakhs? Yes. Now what happens is his total ITC is say rupees 20 lakhs. Now how much do you think is maximum refund that he can claim? So understand, what's the refund that he can claim maximum? How to understand it? 20 lakhs of ITC, do you agree, is for 300 lakhs of supply? Yes, no? So equivalent to supply of exports. What's the supply of exports? What's the turnover of exports? 100 lakhs. So equivalent to 100 lakhs, how much will be the ITC? Can you do the cross multiplication? How is cross multiplication done in this case? Is it 100 into 20 upon 300? Please let me know. Is it 100 into 20 upon 300? Remember what we are discussing. What is 100? Tell me. What is 100? 100 is export turnover. No. Figure is not so important here. You understand the concept. 100 is export turnover. What is 300? 300 is, do you agree, total turnover? Very good. What is 20? 20 is ITC, isn't it? Let's check now, friends, what is the formula. Okay, see what is the formula. Formula is turnover of zero rated supply of goods, means exports. Do you agree? Plus turnover of zero rated supply of services, means exports. Do you agree? Divided by adjusted total turnover, which is your total turnover. Do you agree? Friends, you are not responding. Reply, please. Into net ITC. In our example, net ITC was how much? In our example, net ITC was 20. So isn't the formula same? Did you get logic behind formula? See, I am not able to see anyone. So if you switch on your cameras, it will be best. Otherwise, keep on replying quickly. I hope you understood the point. So, will you be able to remember this formula now? That refund amount is equal to export turnover upon total turnover into ITC. Now, how you have to call export turnover? You have to call export turnover as turnover of zero rated supply of goods plus turnover of zero rated supply of services upon the total turnover you have to call as adjusted total turnover multiplied by ITC you have to call as net ITC. Did you all understand? Quickly let me know in the chat window. If yes, we have to go to a further step where you should understand net ITC's meaning. It means ITC only on inputs, not on capital goods. Okay, and input services during relevant period. Okay, then what is turnover of zero rated supply of goods? Very critical, huh? Very critical. It means value of zero rated supply of goods made without payment of tax. Okay, not with payment of IGST, without payment of tax. Okay, or 1.5 times value of like goods domestically supplied by the same or similarly placed supplier. Means what? In our example, what is the value of exports? In our example, you can see value of exports is 100 lakhs. Yes. Now what you should do is, you should check in India such goods are sold at what price. Suppose it is sold at 50 in India, such goods. So you should do 15 to 1.5. What is 15 to 1.5? 75. You should take 100 or 75, whichever is less. Please remember this very important point. We are of course going to apply it in two sums. Okay, so please remember there is a twist in the point of turnover of zero rated supply of goods. Okay, then turnover of zero rated supply of services. What is that? Okay, understand. If they want to twist it, na, they can twist it to whatever extent they want it. Now what does it mean, turnover of zero rated supply of services? It means value of zero rated supply of services made without payment of tax. Okay, how it is calculated? Aggregate of payments received during the relevant period for zero rated supply of services. So actual amount received you have to check. Agreed? Actual amount received you have to check. You have to add zero rated supply of services where supply has been completed, for which payment has been received in advance in any prior period to the relevant period. Means what? Last year only you had received an advance of 25, but that was for work done this year. So what will you do? You will consider it in this year when the work is done. Did you understand? This year, suppose this year total payment you have received for services exported. Suppose this year total payment received for services exported is, say, 100. Agreed? But you don't have to stop at 100. In that you have to add 25. Which 25 is this? This 25 is payment received last year but service given this year. Did you understand? Friends, something critical I am trying to tell you, so please cooperate with me by replying in the chat window. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, and friends, from this you minus. What will you minus from this? You will minus from this any advance that you have received. Means, yes, wonderful. Reduced by advances received for zero rated supply, for which the supply of service has not been completed. This 100 can include some advance. So suppose it include advance of 10. Subtract that 10. So your zero rated supply of services in this case should be finally 115. Did you understand? So this is an extreme example which we are taking, but you should be, this all is so complicated. Please take your notebook and write down. We want to change this opinion, Pratiksha. We want to change this opinion, and I am going to change it. I am determined about that. That is my task. I am going to change it. अब मैंने ठान लिया है आपका ओपिनियन चेंज करना by end of today's session. Come what may, your opinion has to change. मुझे गाली देने जैसा ही. Okay. Yes, relevant period will refer to the month. Yes, depends on for what period they are taking refund. It all depends on that. Okay, okay, I know, Pratiksha. Matlab, see, if you are a service provider and whatever service you give, if someone doesn't understand that service, then obviously, no, I take tax very personally. Okay, check now. Let me tell you now. Again, let me try to explain you. What are we discussing? We are discussing refund amount in case of exports. Which exports? Those exports which are done without पेमेंट ऑफ जीएसटी. प्रतीक्षा यहां तक समझ में आ गया? दैट इज व्हाट वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट. नाउ listen carefully. In this, do you agree that in proportion of exports done, you need to have the refund? In proportion of exports done, you need to have refund. Is it agreed? Yes. Wonderful. Now listen carefully. So how to calculate that proportion? So obviously divided by adjusted total turnover. Why? So that I have told you, that logic I have told you. I hope that logic is clear. See this. I hope that logic is clear. 20 lakh was ITC, 100 lakh was export, 300 lakh is total. So 20 lakh is for 300 lakhs. So how much for 100 lakhs? This is called as unitary method. Yes or no? So you will do 100 into 20 upon 300. So 100 was exports. Now exports I am calling as zero rated supply. First I am calling of goods and plus zero rated supply of services. Agreed? Multiplied by net ITC. Yes? यहाँ तक any doubt? Please, huh? That's why at each step I am asking you. No doubt till this step. Wonderful. Now listen to one thing. Why I am calling this as adjusted total turnover? Because zero rated supply of goods का जो turnover है ना, the turnover of zero rated supply of goods, how much will be its turnover? How to calculate that? So that will be actual or 150% of, yes, 150% of value at which goods are sold locally, means in domestic market. Of this two, whichever is lower. अब इस पॉइंट का ज्यादा टेंशन मत लो. Don't take tension of this point. This will get cleared in 2 examples coming up now. So don't take much tension of this. I hope it is clear till this point. Okay. Now only question that remains is what is meaning of zero rated supply of services? Yes or no? We in a single sentence I will tell you, we want to calculate zero rated supply of services for the relevant period. Relevant period, how can you calculate? Say matlab I am just giving you one example. Total money received, total amount received for zero rated supply of services is say 100. Say it's 100. Can you directly take 100 rupees as your zero rated supply of service? No. Why no? Because it can happen that you have done more supply of services this year or this period, but you have received its payment in advance in last period. So don't you think you will have to add advance received for export of services in last period but given in this period? Yes or no? Advance received last period but given in this period, you'll have to add that. Suppose say it is 25. Now can you settle at 125? You can't settle at 125. Why? You can't settle at 125. Why? Because this 100 might include something which is received in advance for service to be given next period. Yes, wonderful. So less advance received. Say it is 10. So what is the final aggregate? Means supply outward, or you can say zero rated supply of services, 115. Now understood? Aditya is asking one question which I will love to answer. What if the payment is going to be received later but services provided this year? Should we include it too? No. And for a very specific reason. Government wants that foreign exchange to come in India. जब वो foreign exchange India में आएगा, when it is service given plus money realized, when both things happen, then only call it as, yes, then only call it as zero rated supply of service. Okay, Aditya, according to you, if only service is given, money is not received, government is not happy, because what will happen if you take it in zero rated supply of service, your zero rated supply of service will go up and quantum of refund will go up. But what if in future you don't receive the money? Then unnecessarily you are given refund. So government wants to ensure two things. So what you have to understand, logic of this service, government wants to ensure two things. What two things? Actually services given. What? Actually services given plus money received. Agreed? When this both will happen, then only they will call it as zero rated supply of services. I hope Pratiksha it is clear now. Good. Students only can bring best out of me, no one else. आप जब बोलोगे कि नहीं समझाओ फिर से, तो I am more enthusiastic. If someone is trying to understand few things, then I'll be more than happy to tell them to you. Clear? Now adjusted total turnover will be nothing but your additions of all the above things plus also your domestic supply. That's it. Done. Okay, can we see example on this to be more satisfied? Let's see example on this to be more satisfied. Okay, because from this refund topic, according to me, what will be asked in exam? Concept of unjust enrichment, which you already know. Okay, then in which all cases refund will be granted to the assessee instead of being put in the consumer welfare fund. So that also you obviously know that whenever there are genuine cases of refund, where you know it is the, what you can say, incidence is not passed on to the buyer, in those cases you will be given a refund in your account instead of crediting to consumer welfare fund. So there is no doubts in these things. And of course you have understood that point also, when to give that certificate and when to give declaration. If the amount is up to 2 lakhs, give what? Declaration, own declaration. If it is exceeding 2 lakhs, give certificate from CA or cost accountant. You have also understood interest rates. Okay, 6% per annum after 60 days from date of application. So these basic things you have understood, which could be asked in the exam. Apart from that, what could be the highest level of question? That could be on inverted duty structures calculation, or calculation of refund in case of exports, okay, without payment of duty. So that's what we are doing now. Sir, in adjusted turnover, they are excluding turnover of supply of service. Why are they? No, they are not doing that. Check. See this, adjusted total turnover. They are saying, huh, if you observe here, B point, adjusted total turnover means sum total of value of, see the B point, turnover of zero rated supply of services, okay, and non zero rated supply of services. Did you understand now, Swati? So they are including it, okay? Yes, great. So it won't go illogical at all, okay? It's all very logical. See this now. Suppose a supplier is manufacturing only one type of goods and is supplying the same goods in both domestic market and overseas. During the relevant period of refund, the details of his inward supply and outward supply details are shown in the table below. Net ITC is how much? Net ITC is 270. Local outward supply, can you check the turnover? It is 1000. Directly check the turnover. And friends, check the export. Export is of 1750. But what I need to understand is, same units are being sold in local market. 200 units are sold for 1000. Sorry, 5 units, not 200. 5 units are sold for 1000, means 200 rupees per unit. But in export, it is sold for 350 per unit. Can you see? Yes, no? No? Okay, please observe, Pratiksha, okay? You seem to be confused at this point, but observe. I'll tell you what's happening. Listen carefully. In domestic market, what are my outward supply? What is my outward supply? My outward supply is of 1000. Agreed? Exports are worth how much? Exports actually are worth 1750. It's given. But friends, what you have to understand is, you have to take 1750 or 1000 into 1.5, whichever is lower. So how much will you take? You will take 1500. Did you understand? It's not actually 1.5 of domestic sale which we are doing, but coincidentally in domestic market we are selling 5 units, and in exports also we are selling 5 units of same product. That's why we could do this comparison here, or otherwise they would have given you a different information. Good, very good. So friends, accordingly, what is your turnover, total turnover in this case? There is no complication of service in this case. Can you see total turnover is 2500? And what was your net ITC? Your net ITC was 270. So do you agree that 270 is for 2500? So friends, can you tell me how much for 1500? How much for 1500? Because total के लिए 270 का ITC होगा. For total ITC will be 270. So how much ITC for exports? 162. Check whether 162 is the answer. I will not be surprised if they ask you absolutely same question in the exam. No. Swati is asking, shouldn't we take 1750 as export value for adjusted turnover? No. Check definition of adjusted turnover. When we are supposed to take adjusted turnover, we are supposed to take what? We are supposed to take turnover of zero rated supply of goods as computed above. Thank you, Kitki. I think yes, very good, you have got it. And literally we have applied this formula, nothing difficult. We did 1500 means zero rated supply, correct, or export you can say, multiplied by 270 which is net ITC divided by total adjusted turnover. We did literally this. So I have told you logic also, I have told you formula also, we have gone through example also. Is it absolutely clear to all of you? Yes, wonderful. How many are there? 12. But you are doing a lot of misery in putting a reply here. At least if you have not understood, say not understood. If you have understood, say understood. There is no tax on replying. Okay. Okay. Yes. What formula you want? This formula. Okay, what I will tell you is afterwards immediately I will put the recording, then you can just pause your video and write the formula if you want, whatever you want you can write it. Chalo, let's go ahead friends. By the way, we have done these things in main batch. Okay. Chalo, inverted duty structure now. Inverted duty structure. Inverted means ulta. Bas. So why we are calling it inverted is because rate of GST on inward supply is greater than rate of GST on outward supply. Okay, check. So what will be maximum refund amount? Again friends, it is based on unitary method. Okay, I will directly take you to example of this. Okay, very simple example. Check, check, check. uh, Seventh also, sixth also we are going to do, but before that, seventh, inverted duty structures example. From example we'll derive formula and then remember all these things. Okay, are you there? Super engineering works registered supplier in Haryana is engaged in supply of taxable goods within the state. Given below are details of turnover and applicable GST rates of the final products manufactured by Super Engineering Works, as also the ITC availed on inputs used in manufacture of each of the final products and GST rates applicable on the same during a tax period. How many products can you see? You can see 3 products: product A, product B, product C. Go through the percentages of GST, output tax and input tax percentages, and tell me where do you find inverted duty structure? Where do you find inverted duty structure? Very good. In A and B, because output GST percent is 5 and 5 in those cases, whereas the tax which is paid on purchase is at 18%. So don't you think that there will be accumulation of ITC? So that we are seeking to claim as refund. See what is given in the paragraph. Determine maximum amount of refund of unutilized ITC that super engineer work is eligible to claim under section 54 subsection 3 clause 2, provided that product B, you said A and B both, but they are saying in product B is notified as a product in respect of which no refund of unutilized ITC shall be allowed. Very good. So logical. Don't consider B for taking refund. Agreed? In short, you will consider only A. So friends, for time being, can you calculate overall ITC in this case? Few figures will note down from this sum. What is the total ITC? Very good. 1,18,000 is total ITC. What is the ITC on A, which is inverted duty structure product? Yes, on inverted duty structure product, it's rupees 54,000. So all these figures will be somewhere helpful to us. So you know total ITC, you know ITC on A, which is 54,000. And friends, what is total turnover? Total turnover is 9,50,000. 5 plus 3.5 plus 1. So total turnover is 9,50,000. Agreed? Yes. Very good. So can I say that? And one more thing I want you to observe. Inverted duty structures product is A, right? So on A, what is the output tax payable? 5 lakh into 18%. Sorry, not 18%, not 18. 18 is तो input tax का rate. 5 lakh into 5%, yes. So output tax on A will be 25,000. Agreed? Now friends, see what exactly you have to do. Okay. Do you agree with me that 54, sorry, uh, for 9,50,000 ITC is 1,18,000. So friends, what is turnover of A? What is turnover of A? 5 lakhs. So for 5 lakhs, it should be how much? For 5 lakhs, how much should be the ITC? That much you should be eligible to claim as refund, not more than that, isn't it? See friends, so how much? So what you must be doing? You must have been doing 5 lakh into 1,18,000 upon 9,50,000. What is that? Very good. It is 62,105. So don't, kuch nahi kiya. I have done nothing. For 950, if credit is 1,18,000, then for 5 lakh, the credit should have been how much? Proportionate basis. Did you understand? It should have been 62,105. Friends, but how much is output tax of A? To pay output tax on A, how much of credit you must have used? You must have used credit of 25,000. So of that, can you claim a refund? Of that, you cannot claim a refund. So what will be refund that you can claim? Maximum 37,105. That's your final answer. So what is the formula? No rocket science. बहुत लोगों को लगता है tax is a rocket science. It's not a rocket science. Unitary method पे सब कुछ है. Highest mathematics required is unitary method. For 10 chocolates, 20 rupees. So for 2 chocolates, how many rupees? It's on that. So friends, what's the formula that you have used? 5 lakhs is what? 5 lakhs is your turnover of those goods which are chargeable or which are subject to unitary method, which are subject to inverted duty structure, upon total turnover into net ITC minus what? Output tax payable on the product to which inverted duty structure applies. Check. I would request you to go to answer of 7 and read the formula. So maximum refund amount is equal to turnover of inverted rated supply of goods and services multiplied by net ITC upon adjusted total turnover minus tax payable on such inverted rated supply of goods and services. Assume this is asked in an exam and assume you will solve it, then you will be 1% of that student in India who is able to solve it. I guarantee you. No CS student will ever think of touching this. Okay, we are going 5 steps ahead and trying to do few things. Remember that. So feel yourself privileged. Nicely, silently try to understand these things. And chances are they ask you these questions without changing figures. Wonderful, wonderful. 37, 105 is the answer. Now, one last thing I want to do in this session is that sixth example. In sixth example, now you will give me the inputs. Kailash Global, are you there? Sixth question. Check. Very nice question. Kailash Global Limited supplies various goods in domestic and international markets. It is engaged in both manufacturing and trading of goods. Company is registered under GST in state of Karnataka. Company exports goods without payment of tax under letter of undertaking in accordance with provisions of section 16 of IGST Act, means zero rated supply. The company has made following supplies: export of product A to UK, 7 lakh rupees. In this case, export duty is levied on product A at the time of exports. Further value of like goods domestically supplied by similar placed supplier is 6 lakh rupees. Okay. What I want to tell you is, I want to tell you whether you have charged tax in this case or not charged tax. It's given that you have levied export duty. Can you see, Rishika? Export duty is levied on product A. So you cannot claim any refund. Remember that. Second, on this, on at least first point, you cannot claim refund. Okay. Second, domestic supplies of taxable product B during the period 10 lakhs. Okay. Supply of goods to export oriented unit excluding tax, ITC has been claimed by recipient. Export of exempt supplies of goods, now see in bracket, value of like goods domestically supplied by similarly placed supplier is 5 lakhs. So value export, this export is absolutely zero rated. So equivalent to this 6 lakh, you can claim ITC. Okay. ITC available for the above tax period is as follows. Will you consider on inputs or on capital goods? You will consider only on inputs. Okay. So 3,50,000. So 3,50,000 is for total turnover of how much? Check. You understood that 3.5 lakhs of ITC is there. It is for total turnover of how much? 6 lakh plus 5 lakh, 11 lakh plus, means 6 plus 5, 11 plus 10, 21 plus 7, 28 lakhs. It is for 28 lakhs. And you want to claim refund with respect to exports. Okay, what is amount of export turnover on which GST is not paid, means absolutely zero rated, without paying any GST or without paying any tax? It is 6 lakhs. Very good. So for 6 lakh, how much? So what you do is 6 lakh upon 28 lakh into, yes, 3.5 lakh. Answer would be rupees 75,000. Did you understand? Go to it and try to check the solution. 75,000. 75,000 is with respect to export of exempt supplies. And I think uh, there is inverted duty structure also happening. If you observe the uh, this point, sorry, if you observe this point, B point, inverted duty structure is also happening. In the same case, this point, wait, this second point, inverted duty structure is also happening. Domestic supplies of taxable product B, okay, the outward supply, if you see that 5%, and inputs used in manufacturing of goods are taxable at 18%. So this is a inverted duty structure. Yes, no, all of you? Can you claim refund in this case as well? Yes. Please try to find out how much. Already you know a lot of things from this question, that total ITC is 3.5 lakhs. You also know that 3.5 lakhs is for 28 lakhs. Yes. What further you know? Further, you know that the value of your product B, which is inverted duty structure, is 10 lakh. So calculate for 10 lakhs how much. So 10 lakhs upon 28 lakhs into 3.5 lakhs. Are you getting 1,25,000? Yes. Now friends, if you are getting 1,25,000, I would request you to do next thing. Next thing is that you please calculate output tax on that 10 lakhs. On that 10 lakhs, output tax is at 5%, which is 50,000. So what is maximum refund? 75,000. Agreed? So that's exactly the 75,000 which we are talking about in the solution. So actually in this question we did not focus on that inverted duty structure, but see, there is a refund of that as well. Did you understand? Check this. 3,50,000 upon 28 lakhs into 10 lakhs, 1,25,000 minus 50,000 is equal to 75,000. That's what we did. Yes, is it clear to all of you? All these things which we discussed today. Quickly let me know. Sir, in the third transaction, why not consider it? Third transaction means, are you talking about that supply to EOU, export oriented undertaking? Yes. Now nowhere it is said that supply to EOU is zero rated. Mind you, supply to SEZ is zero rated, and directly exports are zero rated but not a supply to EOU. Check definition of zero rated supply. I have been always telling you zero rated supply means the one which are exported or supplied to a unit in special economic zone. Agreed, Swati? Yes, very good. But it was obvious to get this doubt. Got it? So take care of these small points, understand the whole logic, take care of these small points, and I hope you will be able to do this topic. Yes, no? Quickly let me know in the chat window. We could have, friends, easily skipped it, but that's not the intention. Intention is to take you through all the theoretical topics as well, all these topics. Obviously the main topics will start from our 24th, correct? Valuation, time of supply, place of supply. So if you're okay with those topics, of course still you can excel, but that some lacuna of 5-10 marks should not be there. That's why we are pressing on these topics also. So don't take tension. To the extent possible, try to do these topics, I would say. So in case the third transaction is a supply to SCZ, the statement given is recipient has claimed ITC. Does it mean that Kailash has made such supply upon payment of IGST? No. See, claiming ITC and utilizing ITC are two different things. Got it, Swati? Claiming ITC is different and utilizing ITC is different. So it may happen that I have not paid tax on my outward supply because it is zero rated, but I have claimed ITC. Got the point? So now that exact ITC I want a refund if the supply was done to SEZ. Okay. Swati, is it clear? Sir, the recipient that is given in statement relates to who? Which statement? Acha. In the third transaction, okay, let's open only that third transaction. In third transaction, supply of goods to EOU, recipient means they are talking about the opposite party, recipient of supply, that is the person to whom you have sold the goods. Yes, that is EOU, absolutely. Okay, but that information doesn't affect our solution here. Fine, very good. So I hope that this session helped you to revise a lot of things, and of course look at some things with new perspective, or rather refresh those things. So fine, now we will meet at 8:15, and then we will do the topic of inspection, search, seizure, arrest. So basically inspection, search, seizure, arrest is only about concepts, and then we will go to offenses and penalties, okay, in which I have to give you an overview. Fine, thank you. I'll see you in last session of this theory topics. Thank you. I have been never this clear in topic of refund. Okay, I'm happy, pleasure that now it's clear to you.